Welcome to the Real Double Dose Channel broadcast station, focused on the real reels of real life, love, growth, and of course, elevation within all levels. RDDC is exactly the place where anyone can discover more depth, love, light, and clarity within themselves, and elevate from other people's walks of life, conversations, and questions, along with deeper insights. So tune in and be a part of the Double Doses with Lexus T and RDDC.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Real Double Dose channel. This is your girl, Lex. Now, I am here with you. I'm always happy to be here with you, but let me make sure I have everything on here going the way I need it to do. Okay. So the conversation I'm having, if you hear some clicks, we keep it real. That's the way we feel, because I have some notes that I'm reading from in between the other conversations and stories, and it helps keep my thought flow and the thought flow for you to getting the understanding of what I'm putting down, writing down, and everything else. So yeah, this is your girl, Lexus T. For all those who are new coming in, who have been here, who are on the journey new here, we see you from everywhere, from Belgium to Germany to Cali to Ashburn. Yes, I said to Boardman or Broadman, Oregon, to all the Washington, to the Texas, to the Dallases, to the Minnesotas, to the Michigans, to the Colorados, Philadelphias, New York, Nueva York, Newark, New Jersey, everywhere. I'm sorry, I know Florida, I can't, Oklahoma, Canada, all right, the UK, okay, the beautiful place of it, Ghana, okay, Nigeria, hey, boom, let's get it. All right, Colombia, Spain, Mexico, everywhere. The people are here. I know I'm trying to name it off, everybody. I know I get so much grief, but you know what I mean. So I don't want to just stop the flow, but thank you for tuning in wherever you are. I would like to have a list of that from Spotify to tune in to Stitcher to SoundCloud, which is our main, if you right now, for our main, and the ones that we're reaching out to now, because we realize things aren't really updating on the RSS with the SoundCloud for some reason. Maybe it was a trigger on some platforms since 2022. We're in 2025, and don't worry, I'm going to continue that conversation on as our YouTube unfolds and rolls more out with the hashtag My Hard Set Reset Journey, or My Hard Reset Journey, where you can check out the surgery photos of the massive looking shark bite and different stuff in my legs and so forth. Wasn't really a shark bite, but the story will be there. The photos explicitly there. If you want to see them, I know a lot of people were curious. I know we all like to see the journey, but I'm going to talk about that as we go, because I'm still in the healing phases, and it hasn't been quite not even 8 months yet since it all happened, and I'm still getting physical therapy, God therapy first. Now, with all that said, okay, if you fast forwarded, I don't know, pretty soon it'll be the live, but this is the conversation of the Phantoms of Love Part 3. Now, it's a little different recourse. I had the notes from the original ones I wanted to go through, but this still hits home, and I had to maybe it wasn't meant to be out here right now for that version, but this right here is something I had written down earlier. So let's have a hashtag RDDC Flip the Switch edition moment. Right, so let's get straight to the conversation. All right, this is Phantoms of Love Part 3. Now, we often chase after the image of love like it's a figure moving in the shadows, right? Close enough to feel, but just out of reach when we stretch our hands, right? These are the phantoms of love. Not the love God designed for us, but the illusion shaped by wounds, expectations, and the echoes of our past. And when we grasp at them, we often find nothing more than air. That's for real. Yet, chase continues, leaving us breathless, questioning, and wondering why fulfillment still slips away. ... You ever wonder about that? Not the love that God designed for us, but the illusion shaped by wounds and expectations and the echoes of our past. Now, let that sink in, and pause me if you have to right now. I'll give you a second. All right. So, all right, love as God intended, right? Some people say, hey, well, Lex, I don't really know how to love. That's why I'm listening to Phantoms of Love. I don't think I've ever been loved before, so I'm trying to love how I know how to. We'll get into that in a minute. But love, as God intended, was never meant to be a phantom. It was designed to be presence, not absence, wholeness, not fragments. But the human apparatus, our minds, our memories, our unhealed scars often paints love in disguise. And in these disguises, we see phantoms. All right. The phantom of validation, where we believe love means someone finally seeing our worth. The phantom of possession, where control masquerades as connection. I know we know. The phantom of escape, where we use love to run from ourselves rather than return home to who we are in God. Boom, let that sink in one more time. The phantom of escape, where we use love to run from ourselves rather than run or return home to who we are in God. And here's the truth. Phantoms are persuasive. They whisper, if you hold on tighter, if you give me more, if you give more, if you just prove your value, then the love you crave will finally be yours. Ooh, you know that feeling, that voice? But it never is, because phantoms are never designed to stay. They vanish when light is shined upon them. Remember that. Okay, Phantom of the Opera wouldn't have been so good if all the lights were shining. So how do we confront them? So we start by asking, what is real? Right? Is real. Oh, okay. It does sound like the country. Is this love making me whole, or is it fracturing me further? That's a question you ask yourself, that deeply known. Does this love invite me to stand in God's light, or does it keep me hidden in the shadow? All right. And the next one, am I seeking this person, this feeling, this moment to fill a wound only God can heal? And am I even letting God heal the wound that God can heal? Because allowance is always a part of free will. The phantom dissolves the moment truth steps in. Truth doesn't leave us chasing. Truth anchors, right? Truth anchors, baby. Truth reveals the love. That love, real love, all right, was never meant to be earned, only embraced. And maybe, right? Just maybe. We'll get to that conversation in 1 second. But you think about that as a mother, child, people who have a deeper heart. Like when you go there and you hand someone an apple and you know they don't have lunch. I mean, hopefully your motives aren't, oh, I hope I give them this apple. I hope they love me. You're just like, no, I saw you hungry, so I wanted to give you the love inside of me that was shown to me one day from before, or the love you have in your heart that was bestowed from God to say, feed my child. Right? Or just a grown up adult could still be a child, and the guy's God. So that when a woman or family expects a baby, I highly doubt someone's like, hey, I'm gonna get pregnant with you. When you get out of this oven, when I give birth to you, you're gonna see just how much I love you. All right. You have to earn it before I can even give it to you, babe. You're just a little brand new 1 day old baby. You're gonna have to earn my love. No, it's just, hey, feel my love. And I don't know, I don't endorse it, but I do love the series Power, the Book of Cain, Part 4. But I remember Raquel in the sitcoms, the shows. I think 50 Cent runs that, if not, or directs it. Somehow, I don't know. Don't know all the details. You had to Google that or IMDb, whatever. But no matter what, her son Kanan, one of the main characters, of course, Raquel, his mother, the main character, the one who runs the operations, she has, that's a little snippets. Don't hate people. It's a little snippets of time I get a chance to see. So I'm still recovering. I get a chance to see some stuff. My brother gives me some episodes, and that's very rare that I get a chance to do that, but it's nice. All right, jumping back to that. But no matter what she does, even though she's a cutthroat dealer, let's put it that way, she, in her mind, it's about survival, keeping your son strong, smart, and on his toes from where they grew up in. I think it's more cast towards their later 80s or something, maybe early 80s or later 80s or whatever, maybe early 90s. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's like, but Kanan, he's all saw was his mind was twisted. He saw nothing that she did was love. It was always hate. It was always felt she was letting him know, I just want you to embrace my love. See, but that's her kind of love she knew to grow up on. She had to be in her lifetime, and sometimes lifetimes before, in other people's lives and our lives, everyone can be the reflection, not only, but the phantoms of love that we call love. And we get confused when someone else says, you don't love me. Yes, I do. I love you. I love you to the best of my capabilities, but it's not the way and the truth in the life, just like God is. It's not what love is meant to be. I'm not saying you're guilty. I'm not saying we're guilty. It's just to really look at the truth of it. unveil what it is. Because at the same time, that's not love though. To sit there and say that, even that, if I get mad or if I push Mr. Heck versus Hell in the arm, whatever it might be, I'm sorry, whatever it might be, or just, hey, move to the side kind of thing. It's like there's a sentiment of a lot of our DNA's been passed on, a lot of those ancestral bloodlines and different things too, different blood aching to speak throughout us who haven't got rid of their demons or suppression or things yet. So a lot of things are in our control and some things aren't. Otherwise, though, love is not to be earned. It's to be embraced. Because even plenty of times probably happen now, but a mother who had a child, who got killed. I think she got killed and raped by two men. It was something, I don't know if it was another country or what, but I heard this over a decade or so ago. She actually runs a ministry journey with them now. But, I don't know if they served their time or she served their time, she actually helped get their time reduced. And people thought she was nuts that they killed and raped your daughter that you love so much when she was out for school or doing something, right? But the whole point is she showed them mercy, the mercy and the love of God. And some people say, I don't care what it is, I couldn't do that. That's your own journey of what you do. No matter what it was, they cracked open. They looked at the fact, they thought it was a setup, actually. They thought it was like, hey, what's going on? We know you want to kill us already. Who wouldn't? From what happened, any person in their unsensible or sensible mind, whatever you want to label it, that's my child. You tortured them. You assaulted them. I don't know what they call it, the SA, they call it. I'm not trying to be doing all that censoring. That's what it's called. All right, old school, I don't know. But it's and you kill them. I can never see them again. I can't take the hurt from them again. I can never hear them. I couldn't help them. See, but she didn't look at them as the ones who did it. All right. Even though, yes, self-responsibility is very important. We can't blame everything on Diablo now. The devil's not always responsible because we do have free will. We can't say we skipped school and skipped all this and went to go do. No, that's the will that we wanted too. God has all power. But for her to look beyond whatever that took, and hopefully we can find a couple of these women who have done this now and ask what was going on when they chose that. But she decided to embrace them as her sons. Okay, or at least an extension of her. Go out there and choose them. That had to really, really, kill them with kindness. Just imagine how that felt, though. You're literally sitting there having help from the woman. You just took her child away. You're sitting behind bars thinking about what you did. And this woman shows you God-like love. I say like because we can never be God, right? We can be extensions and daughters and sons of God. But God, the creator of all things, no. We're the breath of God, but we are not the fullness of God, right? But I'm happy for sprinkles. I'm happy for raindrops. I'll take whatever. Okay? I'm just saying, like, that had to have been piercing to me. To know if I robbed, let's say, for example, if I robbed or somebody robbed a store and took everything this guy had, he lost his house, lost his wife, everything. That guy comes around later on and I'm sitting there in jail. He comes and puts money on my books. He comes and ministers to me. He talks to me. That would crush me. And I'm not saying she did that for that reason, but just imagine the conviction on her heart. And maybe that whole thing is laid out the way it is for those men to be on the ministry that they still have been a part of, I believe, even till now. No matter how it is God's design, and whether we question or get angry about it or not, it still worked itself out. For everything that's made an evil, God will make great and good. It just shows. Even my 10 surgeries almost. It's like, okay, well, I have a reason to feel that way, but it's like, well, who am I entitled to say I don't when Christ went through so much? Who am I? Not to say we deserve punishment, but who am I to whine about my situation? God says, hey, remember, you're supposed to trust in me. No matter what happens or what you feel, I got you. You might scream, you might jump around, you might get confused, but just know that I'm not the God of confusion. I'm here with you. So that took a lot for that. So I'm not saying for a person to burn your house down and hurt your children, do this and then to take them back in and do that. Whatever that union was is whatever. But what I'm saying is, or whatever God needed it to be or wanted it to be. But what I'm saying to you is, we have to stop chasing the phantoms that are there. That's the kind of love that's deep. That's that kind of love where you have to see the change. And I always say that, be the change, feel the passion, embrace the power of the spirit that's within you, flowing ever to you. Because it means a lot. You have to be the change. You have to feel that passion within the change. Otherwise, it's not going to stick. It has to be authentic. And you have to embrace the power of the spirit and the breath of God that's within you, that God is always calling you, because it's not going to work without God. It just does not work that way. I'm sorry. You don't want to hear it. I can't apologize. But for those of you who are like, I didn't want the double doses right now, well, there you go. You got a triple one. Right? But it maybe, just maybe, the phantom we've been chasing has been a mirror all along, a reflection of our unhealed places calling out for attention, right? No, not another person's approval. Because sometimes the phantom isn't about them, it's about us, right? The places where we have not allowed God's love to settle, the shadows we've avoided because facing them feels too painful. But hear this: no phantom, no illusion, no echo of false love can survive in the presence of God's truth, right? Once again, no illusion, no echo, or false love can survive in the presence of God's truth. He did not design us to be haunted by love, but to be held by it, to receive it without begging, without bargaining, without breaking ourselves to prove we deserve it. So in this moment, all right, everybody, take a breath. Ask yourself, which phantom of love have I been chasing? I want you to do it for real. Do that. And am I willing to let God shine his light on it so it dissolves once and for all? Now, I have to say that too. Now, this doesn't have to be with just relationships and human and friendships and girlfriendships and having a homeboy, whatever, like that's my girl, that's my old girlfriend, we hanging out, she's going to go see her boo later on, whatever, whatever. Not just the human ones, but even with our animals. Or some people are kicking and abusing their animals, right? Some people are serving their animals or whatever else in their cause more than they are the people that are right up under them. And then on top of that, we have those things too, where some people say, oh, self-love to me, which is not serving the self. Self-love to me is understanding and getting to connect with the self, which is a true self, is God's breath within, and connecting to the soul and the body and the mind of what God gave us. That's also within the apparatus. But which phantom of love have you been chasing? Oh, I'm body positive because I'm wearing clothes that reveal my curves and my boobs or whatever, right? I'm wearing a tank top showing my six pack, or going out there with my belly out, whatever it might be. I'm flexing on my arms. Is that what you're chasing? The false insecurity of love, that someone's looking at you hoping that they'll chase that very aspect of what you don't even know you're doing to think that's creation of love? Break that down a little bit. So there's different attitudes. Some people say, oh, I am loving myself. I'm going to a buffet every day eating 17 pounds of ice cream. Okay, I'm going here and I'm eating a piece of celery stick every day. I have a glass of water. I'm about to pass out. Either way, that's not love. Love is balance, because love is God. God knows nothing but beyond balance. There's not even a word for balance with God. God just is. So fascinating to know we come from such a marvelous, magnificent, majestic, amazing, off the top.org.com .net everything, okay? Universally beyond profound God of all. All right. So I just want to say that. All right. We need to receive it without begging. All right. Without bargaining, without breaking ourselves to prove we deserve it. So in this moment, you do have to take your breath. And I want you to ask yourself again, which phantom of love have you been chasing, or have I been chasing, right? And am I willing to let God's light shine, right? His light on it so it dissolves once and for all. Because the love you are seeking isn't hiding. It's been here all along, waiting for you to stop chasing shadows and start embracing the light. That's what it is. So, beloveds, I'm saying, if this message stirs something in you, don't let it fade like the phantoms we spoke about up today and the other previous ones. Share this episode with someone who may be chasing illusions of love, and together, let's break free from the shadows. Step into the flip the switch experience, all right, where we uncover more truths, more clarity, and more of the love God already destined for us, especially you. All right, has been the Phantom of Love Part 3. And remember, love was never meant to haunt you. Okay, I'm sorry, there's loud trucks going everywhere. It's really annoying. But I'm just going to say, love was never meant to haunt you. All right, it was meant to hold you, still is. So until next time, keep shining, keep seeking the truth, and always flip the switch. All right. I just want to also say, when it comes down to it, I want to leave you with this before anything. So this is some reflection for you to have. And this is a verse from 1 John chapter 4, verse 18 that says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love." Man, that's so deep. Let's read that one more time. 1 John chapter 4, verse 18. "There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love." I have to think about that when my surgeons had me reflecting really good, because I thought I was punished. And really, if I anchored myself down in this, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. I thought the fearfulness is, am I going to lose my life because I'm being punished for not doing all that I could do in God's ministry? Even though I need direction and learn how to let go. But it's also a reset for me to say, look, you can't do everything on your own. You're driving yourself. And our lady had did so much. I remember it was just on social media a couple of weeks ago. And God bless her soul and God rest her soul. You know, with all of our loved ones out here, we just lost or have lost or are about to lose. But she had said something, I forgot her name, but she said something is tired on her last post. And she never woke up the next morning. Now, I don't know of any other attachment. I'm not saying it's a suicide, anything else like that. But what I'm saying is she was working, everybody said she worked herself into the ground. And I believe God was letting me know, hey, are you done now? Because you're not even enjoying the journey. You're a part of the journey, but you're not noticing and witnessing the journey, because you're looking at the destination thinking you can reflect and relax once you get there, but you'll be gone before you get there, because the journey you're creating is killing you. So God showed me in many other facets as well, look, you could have your life gone right now and there's nothing you can do about it. If you leave here, Lex, you die. If you go to surgery, you still can die because you don't know how far deep it went. And you might wake up with no limbs. I'm not saying that's a bad thing for those who are living life with it now. You are stronger than ever and bless your hearts. But what I'm saying is, it's a reset to say, hey, hold up, wait a minute, take your time back. And I feel little trinkles of that life still coming in mine, where I'm like, okay, again, my legs swollen, not really relaxing. And I'm noticing it more so than ever. And I'm leaving a lot more on the table more so than ever, and understanding it'll unfold as it does. But as long as I have God with me and that perfect love, because there is no fear in love, and perfect love drives out fear. So fear has to do with punishment. And God's love is perfect. Not my love, but God's love. Our love. Not our love, but God's love. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. We can't ever match God on that level, but we can't never feel even close to that level when we always feel a fear of punishment. And life has taught us everything else in between. But I just want to leave this with you as well. Love was never meant to haunt you. It was meant to hold you. Yet too often we chase after shadows, approval, control, or escape. These phantoms of love whisper promises that can never, never keep. But when God's light shines, though, illusions dissolve, illusions are gone, and truth remains. So I just want to say, if you can, all right, take out some notepad, journal pieces, and ask yourself, which phantom of love have I found myself chasing most recently? Validation, possession, or escape? Okay, come back to this and write it down. You have to. I hope you do this inner work. They call shadow work, whatever. The inner work, the light work, boom. All right, number 2, how has this pursuit left me feeling? Whole or fractured? All right, number 3, what wound or fear might be fueling my chase after this phantom? Thank you. Number 4, how can I invite God's perfect love into this place so the phantom dissolves? Powerful. 5, what would it look like for me to stand in a love that doesn't haunt me, but holds me fully? That's so beautiful. So a flip the switch moment will say, write this down as well. All right, write this declaration in the present tense. I release the phantom of blank. I stand in God's perfect love that fills me completely. I am no longer haunted by illusions, for the light of Christ anchors me. All right, say it loud 3 times a day, speak it until your soul believes it. My wonderful RDC families. I release the phantoms of blank. You fill that in. I stand in God's perfect love that fills me completely. I am no longer haunted by illusions, for the light of Christ anchors me. Remember that. Say that over and over and over. So I release the phantoms of friendship. I release the phantoms of cheesecake. I'm just saying, something has to go there. So as we go, we had to say, Father, I surrender every shadow of false love that I've been chasing. Shine your light into the places of my heart that have been longing, wounded, and even hidden. Replace every phantom with the truth of your unfailing love. Teach me to embrace love that heals, not love that haunts. In Jesus' name, amen. So I just wanted to say this. Don't let this reflection in here, right? Share today's revelation with yourself, with someone you trust, and invite them to walk this journey of truth contigo, with you. Together, let's stop chasing shadows and start living in the fullness of God's love, though. That's what we're missing. That's what everybody seems to just keep remembering to not remember. You don't have to live in the shadow when God is everything in the light. God is everything beyond the light, and the light just doesn't come from the brightness. The light is what it is. I just want to say that. So remember to